In 2007, Nokia was the most powerful phone company on Earth. More powerful than Apple. More powerful than Samsung. And within just a few years, it was nearly gone. So here's the question. How does a company that controls an entire industry lose everything, without realizing it's happening? Because Nokia didn't collapse overnight. It collapsed one decision at a time. In 2007, Nokia stood at the top of the world. More than 40% of all mobile phones sold globally were made by one company. That company was Nokia. In many countries, owning a mobile phone meant owning a Nokia. The brand represented reliability, durability, and trust. For hundreds of millions of people, Nokia was not just a product. It was their first connection to the modern world. It was how families stayed in touch, how businesses operated, and how entire regions entered the digital age. But within just a few years, that dominance vanished. Market share collapsed. Billions of dollars were lost. Factories shut down. Entire divisions disappeared. The company that once ruled mobile phones was suddenly fighting for survival. And the most surprising part is this. Nokia didn't fail because it stopped innovating. It failed because it made the wrong decisions, at exactly the wrong time. Nokia did not begin as a phone company. It began in 19th century Finland as a paper mill. Over decades, Nokia reinvented itself repeatedly. Paper, rubber, cables, electronics. Adaptation was part of Nokia's identity long before smartphones existed. By the 1990s, Nokia identified a powerful opportunity. Mobile communication. At the time, mobile phones were bulky, unreliable, and expensive. Most companies believed they would remain niche tools for executives and emergency services. Nokia believed something different. They believed phones would become personal, portable, and global. So Nokia made a bold commitment. They exited many other businesses and focused almost entirely on mobile phones. They built phones that worked anywhere. Phones with batteries that lasted days. Phones that survived real life. Models like the Nokia 3310 became legendary. Affordable. Reliable. Nearly indestructible. By the early 2000s, Nokia dominated the global mobile phone market. In some regions, more than half of all phones sold were Nokias. Inside the company, success created confidence. Confidence turned into certainty. And certainty quietly turned into comfort. And comfort is where the future began to slip away. But here's the question Nokia never asked in time. What happens when what made you successful becomes the very thing holding you back? The answer lies in 5 decisions. To understand how Nokia fell, we have to go back. Back to 5 moments that didn't look dangerous at the time, but slowly rewrote the future of the company. The first decision, choosing stability over reinvention. The first decision was subtle, but critical. Nokia chose stability over reinvention. Behind Nokia's success was its operating system, Symbian. At first, Symbian was a strength. It powered millions of devices and supported Nokia's massive product lineup. But as phones became smarter, Symbian became complex, fragmented, and slow. Developers struggled to build applications efficiently. User experience became inconsistent across devices. Engineers inside Nokia saw the warning signs. Many argued that Symbian could not support the future of smartphones. But replacing it meant rebuilding everything from scratch. It meant uncertainty. It meant short-term disruption. It meant admitting that the old system had reached its limits. So Nokia made a choice. They patched instead of rebuilding. They optimized instead of reinventing. They protected the past instead of preparing for the future. And while Nokia stood still, the industry moved forward. At this point, Nokia still believed time was on its side. Then came the moment that challenged that belief. The second decision, underestimating a revolution. The second decision came in 2007. Nokia chose to underestimate a revolution. That year, Apple introduced the iPhone. Inside Nokia, the reaction was calm. Executives believed touchscreens were impractical. They believed battery life mattered more than software. They believed consumers wanted physical buttons. To Nokia, the iPhone looked fragile, expensive, and niche. But Apple wasn't selling a phone. Apple was selling a platform. Apps. Software. An ecosystem that improved over time. Nokia didn't see a revolution. They saw a novelty. And by the time they realized their mistake, the market had already changed. The industry had changed. The warning signs were visible. But what happened next would prove even more costly. The third decision, waiting while the market accelerated. The third decision was less visible, but just as damaging. Nokia chose to wait while the market accelerated. After the iPhone, Nokia debated. Teams argued. Strategies conflicted. Decisions slowed. They tried to modernize Symbian. They explored alternative platforms. But every option felt risky, expensive, or disruptive. And in fast-moving industries, hesitation is a decision. While Nokia waited, Android arrived. Open. Fast. Scalable. Manufacturers adopted it rapidly. Developers followed momentum. And Nokia found itself surrounded by an ecosystem that was growing faster than it could respond. By now, Nokia knew it had a problem. What it didn't know was how little time it had left. The fourth decision, choosing control over ecosystem power. The fourth decision became the turning point. Nokia chose control over ecosystem power. By 2011, Nokia faced a crossroads. They could adopt Android and compete immediately. Or they could retain control by choosing a strategic partner. Nokia chose Microsoft. They abandoned their existing platforms and bet everything on Windows Phone. It was bold. But it was dangerous. Developers didn't follow. Apps were missing. Consumers were confused about where Nokia truly stood. In a market driven by ecosystems, Nokia chose structure over scale. And the market moved on without them. This decision was meant to save Nokia. Instead, it brought the company to a crossroads it could no longer escape. The fifth decision, walking away. The fifth decision sealed Nokia's fate in mobile phones. Nokia chose to walk away from the battlefield. Sales collapsed. Market share fell from over 40% to single digits. In 2013, Nokia sold its phone business to Microsoft. The company that once defined mobile phones exited the market it helped create. For many people, Nokia's story ended there. But it didn't. Nokia survived by making one final, quiet decision. They returned to their roots. Telecommunications infrastructure. Network equipment. Global connectivity. Today, Nokia plays a critical role in building communication networks worldwide, including 5G technology. The company is smaller, less visible, but stable and profitable. Nokia's story doesn't end with failure. It ends with a warning. And now comes the most important question. What can every company learn from Nokia's rise and fall? The first lesson, dominance creates blind spots. When success lasts too long, warning signs become easier to dismiss. Nokia's leadership believed their position was secure, even as the market shifted beneath them. Secondly, protecting the past can destroy the future. Symbian worked, until it didn't. And by the time change became unavoidable, the cost of change was already too high. Another lesson, speed beats perfection. In fast-moving industries, waiting for certainty often guarantees irrelevance. Nokia waited while competitors moved. The fourth lesson, ecosystems matter more than products. Nokia built excellent devices. But Apple and Google built platforms that attracted developers, partners, and users. The final lesson, comfort is the greatest risk. No company collapses at its weakest point. It collapses when success makes change feel unnecessary. Nokia didn't disappear because it lacked talent. It disappeared because it made the wrong decisions at the wrong moments. And in business, dominance doesn't vanish overnight. It fades. One decision at a time. If you found value in this story, consider subscribing to Brand Decisions for more deep dives into the decisions and lessons behind global brands.